Hello everyone, my name is Gal and I'm a product manager at ARMO, and in this demo today I will show you how to use the ARMO platform. We're a CI/CD Kubernetes security company and we are the creators of Kubescape. Kubescape is a popular Kubernetes security solution that can be found on GitHub, and I invite you all to check it out. And today we're going to focus on the ARMO platform, which is the enterprise solution, and it's based on and powered by Kubescape. It's a multi-cloud Kubernetes security single pane of glass, which includes everything regarding security risk analysis, compliance, misconfiguration and image vulnerability scanning, and role-based access control, also known as the RBAC visualizer. It's a simple solution for DevOps while giving the security team a full risk picture for governance purpose. It brings developers, DevSecOps, and security professionals to a single platform where they can work together to solve security issues, hardening their environments, making sure their CI/CD pipelines are secured and free from misconfigurations and vulnerabilities. And it results in a common language which is useful for everyone to collaborate and work with. It simplifies and brings transparency, and it reduces the complexity of Kubernetes security across teams or processes across organizations. And it also gives security professionals visibility and control so they can see what is happening and assess the security risk that they have in their environment. Let's start. In order to use the ARMO platform, you will need to sign up to the SaaS solution. Enter your email or use any single sign-on method you prefer, go through the onboarding, and that's it. The first thing you see when you start using the ARMO platform is the dashboard. It's a single view of everything you should know about your Kubernetes environments, from CI/CD and also clusters, of course, and it's aggregated into one single view and helps you focus on what really matters and important from a security compliance perspective. What we see here are the different clusters that I've scanned in the past. They're prioritized by the risk score. It's being calculated based on different frameworks that we use. And right away, you understand which cluster you should start working on first. We also have your configuration risk trend over time, so you can identify drift changes in your configuration. So maybe you notice something changed and there's a spike in the graph and you need to pay attention and of course take action. Also, when it comes to vulnerabilities, you can see it right here in the lower graph. We also show you what are the top 5 failed controls that we ran against your environment and what are the top 5 CVEs that we found on your workloads. This is usually the first view that a typical user sees after the onboarding, and this is where you should start your Kubernetes security journey first thing in the morning. The solution is focusing on two main areas: what is happening inside your Kubernetes cluster, but also what's happening outside. Let's talk about the configuration scanning. What you see here are the different clusters that we scanned. You can see which provider the cluster is on, and we support managed and unmanaged Kubernetes clusters like EKS, GKE, AKS, or any unmanaged Kubernetes type that you are using. And when I dive into the different cluster scan reports, we see the different controls that the system tested and which of them failed, meaning I need to pay attention to. And before we dive in, I would like to explain how we manage the controls according to different frameworks. Let's navigate to the settings page, and under the frameworks section, you can see the different frameworks that we have. We have out-of-the-box frameworks like MITRE, NSA, and CIS, and there is also an option to customize and build your own framework and cherry-pick the controls that are relevant to your security needs and compliance requirements. Each framework consists of many types of control, meaning tests that are being tested, and currently we support more than 200 controls that are Kubernetes-specific that you'll be able to run inside your environment. Some of the controls can be configured according to specific needs. So let's say I look for the application credentials in configuration files, which is of course not recommended to use. It's not recommended to save secrets in configuration files. I can decide on which secret the control should look for. I can add or remove different types of values, and this is also true for other controls that may be configurable in the platform, and this provides a high level of flexibility and customization. Let's navigate back to the platform, and now I will navigate to the comply section. You can run scans manually or according to a scheduled interval using cronjob. And focusing on the control that we just looked at, the application credentials, when I click on it, I see which resource failed against this control. I can exclude findings that are approved by me. Some manifest files have this configuration by design, and some are being excluded for you in order to reduce the noise. And the system not only shows you a bunch of failed resources, if you click on the Fix button, the platform will offer a remediation, including specific information regarding what and where the issue occurred and what needs to be done in order to fix it. I can share the issue with my teammates. I can send it via Slack channel or even open a Jira ticket straight from here using the collaboration feature. And basically, this is a 10,000 feet overview of the compliance section, and I welcome you to deep dive into it. Moving to the vulnerability section, the platform scans for workloads that run inside the cluster, and we can see CVEs that were found. We can filter or sort according to certain criteria, like show me only RCE CVE, the remote code executions, which are considered a more risky CVE, or show me only the ones that have a fix, or maybe show me both. And combining that with the severity filter, we know what needs our attention first. From there, I will dive into one of the results and see which CVE, which component, which version, how severe it is, and which version I should upgrade to in order to fix this CVE. I can also use the exception here if I don't want to be alerted about it. I can also look for a specific CVE in case I have that information and see where it is found on my workloads in my cluster. The next section we are going to talk about is the RBAC visualizer. It's considered by many to be one of the most complex things to manage in Kubernetes, so the platform offers an interactive visualizer to understand all your resources, role bindings, cluster roles, who can access what, verbs, etc. We made it even easier to query using some built-in queries, so you get useful information and important insights with no trouble. For example, show me all the cluster admins that I have. And by the way, C35 means it's also a misconfiguration covered as one of the controls, so we actually get context between the misconfiguration and the RBAC. And this shows how different sections of the platform provide context together when combined. And now I see all the cluster admins in my cluster. I can also have a reverse look and see which other roles this user is related to, or which subjects are related to certain cluster roles, depending on my need. I can go top down, I can go bottom up, and so on. Another example is show me all the unassigned roles, which is not a good practice to leave unassigned roles in your environment, and you can easily take action based on the information you see right here. I can also use the investigate tool where I can search for specific roles, users, service accounts, and so on, and investigate from here. I can ask to see all the related resources or roles for that account, and using the who can tool, who can get, list, secrets in my environment. And there you go, actionable information. Everything we just played with is in the context of your clusters, but the platform also provides the same information regarding misconfiguration and vulnerabilities outside the cluster. We can connect the ARMO platform to different types of repository providers that you work with, meaning I can also scan for private or public repos before I pull those into my clusters. I can also scan for image container registries before pulling them into my clusters, and this helps preventing from CVEs getting to my clusters and hardening my Kubernetes cluster. ARMO Platform can be integrated to different CI/CD tools. For example, we can integrate with Jenkins, Circle CI, GitHub Actions, Azure DevOps, and you can also use the extension on your Visual Studio to provide information regarding misconfiguration while you write your manifest files. And you can even use the Lens extension we provide, or more like Prometheus, Plural, etc. We provide a very extensive documentation hub that provides technical explanation and how to install, run, and use the ARMO platform and Kubescape. And there's also an active Slack channel under the CNCF Slack channel. So just look for Kubescape under the CNCF, where you can be part of the community, ask questions, or contribute from your knowledge. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be very happy to answer any questions you might have, so feel free to contact us.